Hello, hello, it's the All Systems Go Home Show, the All Systems Go podcast experience. Now for something completely different, I'm Jeremy Farbman, and this week we've got some fresh faces ready. We got C, D, and M. We got Corey McGinnis.
Whom?
We got Darian Bolin, back again.
Whomst?
And returning to the show, the agenda's very own Max Schilling.
Hooved?
Now that we've all been hooved, how have you gents been?
Oh, I've been great.
I'm very behooved.
Max, congratulations on your seemingly accidental appointment as the producer of the agenda.
Yeah, I wrote like a 2-page essay. They asked us like our ideas and how we thought about each show. So for All Systems Go, of course, I had like a 2-page essay. For the agenda, I had like maybe a paragraph, and they went, "Wow, paragraph, wow, incredible! You're the producer." I'm like, okay. So it's gonna go either up in quality or down, but it's gonna be drastic.
Where would you say the quality is right now? Where are we starting from? Are we at like a 7 or a 9 or like a 3?
We're at the very least a 6 or 7. Like it's good quality, but I think we could push it a bit higher.
Okay.
Agenda has 6 letters, so that's where we're putting it.
Oh yeah.
Where's ASD on your scale?
Oh, 10 out of 10. Would watch again.
Clearly. Yeah. So what are you looking to do? I mean, I'll be completely honest. I've never watched a full episode of the agenda. I mean, I've seen like a few clips from other people's computers, but I just, I haven't watched it. So what are we looking to change? What are we doing to get new people in and get even better content?
Well, first off, I think the news segment, it's just like SNL. You open up, you have some fake news stories, and we hop into some skits. The news itself, perfect chef's kiss, not going to change that. I want to have a lot more fake commercials. I want to, we have a segment where we have one of our cast members pretend to be a celebrity. And we're like, it's a celebrity guest. That is very hit or miss. And I'd say for the most part, it misses. We're going to cut that. And then we're going to have a lot more pre-recorded stuff, as well as having much more of the cast come on. Because the agenda, I don't know if you've seen it, but the cast, we haven't. The cast is close to 20 people. And usually each episode has maybe 6 or 7. So I want to really expand that, get a lot more actors into each scene. And I think with pre-recorded content, we can do that.
Neato. Out of curiosity, what were some of your ideas for All Systems Go, this show? Because I'm on the lookout for ways to improve.
Well, as you know, last semester, I was the panel host. And my first idea is to completely scrap the panel.
I like it.
I think in concept it's great, but we're gamers. So we aren't all very extroverted, which means, especially being questioned on the spot, doesn't always go over well. So I think we change it into something that we can keep it, a panel setup. One of my ideas was we turn it into like a round table debate. I'd love to debate The Last of Us 2, because that's a hot topic. And if we can just get a lot of, hot topics and find people in advance, like if Corey, he's very passionate, he thinks Call of Duty's the best game of all time, and Darian thinks Halo's the best game, we can put them side by side, have the panel host serve as mediator, put them head to head and see what happens.
So you're saying we just scrap any semblance of...
Basically.
So
and
we're
then
not
also
scrapping the panel because this is the panel.
It sounds
panel.
very similar to the existing panel, just with less restrictions.
Just less civil.
I'd actually say it's more focused. I want to have something in mind every week. Also, for C Block, I want to have 3 reviews each week. Have an anime review, a game review, and a movie review. Every single week, those 3 reviews.
I don't think Jeremy's going to approve of the anime review.
I think that sounds like a whack idea, but what I wanted to do was actually move those videos to B Block, because what we have right now, we've always had, is you have 2 live segments with usually they got a lot of energy. You got some hot news topics, Sometimes they're boring, but sometimes then you got a good panel, and then you just sort of have people introducing videos for the rest of it. And then I think we can change up the flow. So if we alternate live and pre-recorded content.
I feel like the panel would be like a good segment to end the show with.
Honestly, but I love that idea.
So,
We
like,
should have content.
Because like as it is now, ending the show on the Let's Play, depending on like the quality of the Let's Play, it kind of like puts a lull in the show for a solid like 5 to 7 minutes.
Well, I also want to like make those better and like just say, hey, make sure you're going in with an idea, and you know you're actually going to put some work into it to, you know, make it entertaining.
I'd actually like your opinion on that, because that was my final idea. I didn't want to cut the Let's Plays, but I wanted to turn up that quality drastically. I'm talking, and whenever we do a Let's Play, we'd go over to Jess's house, her producer last semester, and she just used like a web quarter. No, none of that. This time we're gonna go use what Kent gives us. I'm talking at least 2 cameras, probably a handheld and a stationary. I'd love to get 3 or 4 cameras. Get a camera crew, get sound crew, lighting, editing, get into After Effects. I've been doing After Effects this whole summer. We're going to make these Let's Plays high quality.
Yes, I mean, I don't know anything about setting up a film set because that's not my major, but I trust people on it.
And it'd be nice if we could like, find a way to set everything up for like in the TV studio and just use all of that stuff. Just like get like a TV on a cart, like in elementary school or something.
What was I gonna say?
Well, hey, you're a producer, and I know all about editing and setting up a camera.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Max, do you want to, since you know After Effects, do you want to make a new like opening theme song for us?
What do you mean a theme song? That's not really After Effects.
I mean, I meant like a, you know, the little song and dance it does, and not, we can change the song.
A new logo, yeah. If you want a song, it's just gonna be Mr. Brightside, naturally.
Right. You know what I meant.
If you want a song, that's my territory.
Corey, yeah. Can we lay down the we can do it in like a round, or like a barbershop quartet, guys. Ready? We can come up with a new ASG theme song right now.
All systems go.
All systems go.
All
systems
all
go.
I found a new love.
Fly me to the moon.
Okay.
I think we're in the copyright territory there.
Seymour with this crazy explanation.
Yeah, if we have 2 seconds from a bunch of copyrighted songs, no one will know who to strike.
Coming at him, just fine.
Okay, that's enough of the pre-show. So Max, because I mean it's been like a month or 2. What happened? What's been occupying your time in all this intervening time?
I just don't like you guys. No.
Thanks, Dad.
Clearly,
that's why you left us for the interview.
I've been spending a lot of time, honestly, studying After Effects. I'm trying to get ready for next semester. I've been playing more Destiny, because I just kind of, all my friends played it. I never really played any of Destiny because I thought they killed it. But hey, I'm playing it now, and it's actually a pretty fun game. And then as for anime, nothing I can say. I can't say what I'm watching currently on air.
Whoa.
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 You mean you can't, like it's too hard to pronounce, or like you legally
it's
cannot
called
say
Interspecies Reviewers. I can give the general gist of it.
I
can't.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, honey.
Okay, so I'm going to specify. I'm watching this as a joke. My buddy.
Oh, well, if it's as a joke, it's okay. You're not culpable
at all. Here's a little premise. Funimation, the English dubbers, they received this show just like based off of the manga, not the anime. So they read the manga and they're like, okay, sure. It's kind of just like these guys, it's in a world, let's get isekai. So, they're elves and fairies and all this. So they go around and they like rank like the beauty of each creature. And it's like, okay, sure, okay, whatever. The anime took it a step farther. So they don't just review how they look, they are brothels on every street corner. So they're reviewing the brothels. So Funimation dubbed the first episode. They watched the second episode and they said, "We cannot air this on television." So the English dub has been canceled, but the Japanese was finished. So I'm watching it, and it is the weirdest thing I've ever watched.
So, is there like character dynamics in it?
Actually, yes. The way the show opens is you have a human who, and he's like 40, and then you have this elf, and he's supposed to be like 400, and they're arguing over what's more attractive, an old human woman or an old elf woman. Because the elf woman, she still looks really young, but she's like 800 years old, and then you just have like a 60-year-old human woman, and the human, of course, is arguing, ew, she's 60. She could be my grandma. While the elf looks like she's in her 20s. Then the elf is arguing, no, this elf, she has no magic left. But this old woman, dang, she's popping off with magic. So then they go to like the nearest bar and they say, hey guys, which one of these creatures is more attractive? I'm doing my best to keep this PG, guys.
You're doing an okay job.
I did a quick Google search of the series, and I'm like looking at the titles of the anime episodes on Wikipedia, and boy, I tell you,
like if you just look at the manga and then the anime, completely different shows.
Darian, are you going to be on a list now? I mean, Max is already on a list, but
he's on many lists.
It's just Wikipedia. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's for research.
These titles are they're definitely something.
It's about a human who's about 40, an elf who's 400, and then an angel. And it's basically these two guys, and they're just kind of perverts. And they're like, hey, angel, we're going to corrupt you. And the angel is just going, please, I want to go back to heaven. And the angel just wants to go back to heaven. And then he's stuck with these two sinners. So the angel's very upset the entire time, which that's comic relief. I find it funny because out of this whole show, which is very perverse, the angel character, they go to these brothels, and the angel character just goes, "Oh, she was very nice. Like we just sat down, we talked about her favorite shows, and it was a really nice time." And I'm like, "This is wholesome content in an otherwise disgusting river."
Well, I'm glad you found something to pass the time, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about Destiny at all?
I can go over briefly. It's Destiny 2 specifically, and I never really liked it because I thought it was a grind fest. But it's, the same as basically any other, I can say, like online game. It's very fun with friends. Especially some of the raids are really creative. There's the one we've been doing, where it's 6 people. You have 2 players who stand like on a glass floor, and then everyone else has to go beneath them, and they're going through a maze. There are giant monsters that are trying to kill the players in the maze, but obviously because it's a maze, you can't really see them around the corner. So the players on the glass above have to run all around and be like, okay, go left, go right, go this way. And it's actually really interesting, very fun.
All right. So do you think if you didn't have your other friends playing that game, you would still be interested in it? Or is it purely a social event?
I have been playing it by myself quite a bit, purely because they're all like maximum level and I just started. But honestly, no. Especially since a lot of the content, you can't just, there's like quick play. You need to have friends in your party beforehand to do certain game modes. So I think without friends, it's literally unplayable.
Literally.
Yeah, the game just won't let you play if you don't have 6 other friends in game. So this is not for people without friends.
Do you think
I don't think I have 6 friends total.
Yeah, do you think that's too high of a asking price? I mean, the game is like free to play, isn't it? But
it is free to play now.
However, but to get the real game, you got to buy the expansions.
Which, yeah, I think 6 people is quite a bit. It is actually a very big player base. I know, even like on the Destiny has its own website. It has apps where you can go on to, and then the app will like hook you up with other players. I think they have a very lively Discord, so there are ways to find other players. But if you
don't have your own friends, store-bought are fine.
Yeah, you can buy friends.
Get them on Craigslist.
Yeah, just like Interspecies Reviewer, you can buy friends.
I don't
There's
think
always going to
they
be something.
have the same definition of friends on those in those two forms of media.
Is Nicole the one editing this?
Unless she
Probably.
gave up.
Sorry, Nicole. All right, let's continue.
All right, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Corey, you also haven't been on in a few weeks.
That's
so, Corey, I know that you spend so much of your time watching soap operas, which is why you're so busy all the time. So
Of course.
yeah, so is Denise okay?
She died a couple times, but she keeps coming back. She's stubborn.
Oh, it's like a comic book.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did she get Harry finally? Is Harry gone, or is he still doing the thing with the pig?
He's done with the pig. We can't say anything about the llama yet, though.
Oh, where'd they even find the budget for that thing? Because that's a real llama. And I noticed like they don't have the thing at the bottom saying no animals were harmed. So like, I'm concerned.
They just spent a couple years collecting the change they found in between the couch cushions. Their spiders pay them a lot.
Interesting. Okay. So outside of that hilarious bit, so what have you been doing, Corey?
I've mostly spent the last couple weeks watching anime and Supernatural.
Let's go.
You're staying really on brand here. That's good.
Yeah, up next I have to watch the Supernatural anime.
Ooh.
Right. So which of those things has been your favorite so far?
I would have to say anime just because Supernatural I only had like 10 episodes to catch up on. So that was done real fast.
Okay.
So just a higher volume of anime means it's technically your favorite.
Basically.
Something you can really sink your teeth into, right?
Yeah.
So which one specifically? Because like I had the sign up earlier. We might have to put it back up, but convince me.
I watched 3 seasons of Free, which is my favorite anime.
How much did that cost you?
Honey, Crunchyroll was free.
Ho ho ho. Is it a good value for the price?
I think so, but I'm also a fan of these swimmy boys. I affectionately call this show the gay swimming show.
Okay.
Are you okay?
That's not the first time I've heard that, and I find that so funny.
Well, it's true.
So give us the pitch for it.
All right. So you have these kids, they've been friends since they were like 5 or something, and they like to swim. So they start a swimming club at their high school. And you know what they do at that swimming club? They swim.
Do they smooch?
Not that I've seen, but they probably do it off camera.
That's lame. What, you can have like the elf brothels, but smooching on camera is too much?
Well, yeah, these are all dudes. You know how anime is about men.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a lot of undertones, but not actually show it.
Unless you're Yuri on Ice or Given.
So what kind of plot lines are they dealing with? Is it like there's a bad guy swim team, or there's like,
someone drank our pool.
Is there like, someone peed in the pool, or like it's an anime, so is there like a big robot that comes and like slurps up all the water in the pool and they have to fight it?
In the first season, one of their old elementary school friends goes to a different school, so they're rivals with them. But then by the end of the season, they're friends because it's an anime.
Well, naturally, but
so then the next seasons are just them dealing with, wow, we're adults now, but
are
we're
they
still
really
swimming.
adults?
Yeah, they go to college. Okay, young adults.
I thought you said it was their high school. Like,
Well, yeah, they're high school in their last year in the first season.
oh, okay. So obviously they go past that.
So what
Yeah.
is the ratio of time spent in and out of the water?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not good at math, Jeremy Farbman.
I'm just asking for an estimation.
They probably spend a good maybe quarter to fifth of an episode in the pool, depending on the episode, with some of the finales being more like half in the pool.
Okay. So what's the animation? What are we talking about? Is there a lot of
It's
articulation
pretty.
on the strokes?
The swimming is very detailed.
Does the water glisten and shine?
Yeah, what are the water
Always.
physics?
It's an anime about swimming. All of it's the water.
Is there any risk that some greedy tycoon will knock down the community pool and they have to save it?
That was a plot point in the first season.
Nice.
Wow.
Except
the
not a
first-
greedy person. It was just the coach retiring.
Oh. Well, they can use that one in the next season then. They can just recycle that.
Every season they have to deal with someone
Yeah.
trying to do their pool.
Is it currently ongoing, I'm assuming?
No,
Oh, it's over?
it is.
Were there any drownings? Like, do we get to see any like drowning action?
Almost.
Almost.
One of the characters decided they wanted to go swimming in the ocean in the middle of a storm.
Rookie mistake number one.
Yeah, that's how we got the Haunted Island episode.
The haunted
Wait,
island.
whoa. Hold on. I thought this was just about stupid kids swimming laps. There's like a Scooby-Doo mystery?
Always.
A man in a sheet.
It was Old Man Jenkins. He was the pool ghost.
And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you darn kids and your chlorine.
Ah, right.
Chlorine has an effect on ghosts.
I'm sure that's why you don't see ghosts haunting pools very often. They don't like the chlorine.
And you know how I know about that?
Because you're a ghost?
15 seasons of Supernatural.
Okay.
We're transitioning, and Jeremy is done with anime at this point.
Correct. Corey, when did Supernatural peak in quality?
I wouldn't call it as much of a peak as a dip down. Because it was really good at the start, and then some of the middle seasons were kind of but now these last couple seasons have been like ballin'.
Oh, so they still got ideas. 15 seasons in.
Well, yeah.
See, with that show, it was like I was aware of it. I never watched it. I forgot it was still running, and then they one day announced, "Hey, the show's finally ending."
Yeah, it was supposed to be over like 2 months ago, but then the Lady Rona happened, and now that's not till like October.
I thought they like just wanted to have an encore. They're like the friend at the party who won't leave.
Exactly.
So
They gotta stretch it out as long as they possibly can. CW's losing a lot of their good stuff.
yeah, so what's the main draw to that network now? Are they just going to do reruns?
They still got the DC shows, I think.
Does anybody watch those?
I mean, they're still running, so I'm assuming
I thought that was like a tax evasion
maybe.
scheme.
they got Riverdale.
The only things I know about the CW other than Supernatural are DC and an upcoming Walker Texas Ranger reboot.
They also had a show called Crazy Ass Girlfriend, which was like one of the best shows on TV, and then that's over now. So I really have no reason to watch that network anymore.
There's not a lot of reason to watch any network, I think.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're technically right.
Yeah, this season of Supernatural isn't even done yet, and it's already on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
They leaked the whole
Someone
season.
leaked it, yeah. Someone
No, just
leaked
the 13
prints.
that have aired already.
Oh.
Oh,
What do you
Yeah,
think
'cause
of that when Netflix, like, if they'll occasionally do like the week by week programming? Does that work, or is it so built around?
that's like the opposite of the original appeal of Netflix. The whole thing with Netflix was like the entire season was there all at once. You just watch every episode all in a row.
Yeah,
And
Netflix, they always drop everything at once, and I think it's the same with Hulu. As far as I
Right,
know,
but-
Disney Plus is the only one that releases them episodically or weekly.
Hulu does some like week by week for like shows that are certain. Like, if they have like an NBC show, they'll put those episodes on week by week. And then I know like Handmaid's Tale was week by week. I don't know if any of the other shows are like that, but like.
Right. I mean, it makes sense for like Disney Plus because they're trying to string people along and renew their subscriptions. But do you think
Yeah.
it works for when they do it with Netflix? Because, like you said, people are so used to just dropping it all at once.
Yeah, the only shows I ever watch on Netflix are like Supernatural, basically. And that drops at the end of the season all at once.
Yeah, they have like a special thing with the CW shows where they get on there like a week or so after the season ends.
How much money do you think exchanged hands for that? Like, who came out of that deal?
Considering it's CW, I'd say maybe like $10.
10, like 10.50 maybe.
CW paid Netflix and was like, here, please take our shows.
I would think that, Netflix paid CW a lot for it because they're getting the right to just put it on there as soon as they can, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to bother catching it or recording it when it actually airs, but when it goes to Netflix, then I'll watch it because it's right away. I think that's something Netflix benefits from, I guess. So I guess they would be paying.
Yeah, especially with Supernatural fans be crazy. So having it all at once is good because we're whack.
Right. So what's the craziest thing you've ever heard of a Supernatural fan doing?
Watching Supernatural.
Mostly just writing fan fiction about the two main brothers going at it.
Oh,
In a pool.
Unfortunately, that's frequent.
Do they like have chemistry together on screen still?
As siblings.
I know, but like are they fun to watch together?
Yeah.
So like what kind of monsters are we dealing with? Are we fighting the Frankenstein ghost again? Or is the llama
No, Frankenstein was season 12.
Okay. Are we
Right
fighting
now, their big bad
Frankenstein's
is
monster?
God.
Their dad is a dog?
No, their big bad is God.
Oh. But their dad is also a dog, right?
No, he's dead.
Well, I mean,
He done been dead.
is it possible that he could have reincarnated?
yeah,
as
have
a
you
dog?
not heard of Buddhism and reincarnation?
Is their dad a Buddhist?
They spent
don't
like
think
6
so.
episodes setting that arc up. And like they get all the shots of him like petting a golden retriever and like playing fetch in the park. The writing was all on the wall.
Just by stuffing his face into a bowl. They set it up pretty hard.
They set it up.
Well, they set it up, but they have yet to follow through.
Don't be surprised on the audio commentary version when they say, "Oh yeah, the dad is a dog, by the way." That's
gonna be like the big reveal at the very end of the final episode. Just gonna be like a shot of the graves of the two brothers, and like a dog like walks over, places a gentle paw on it,
right.
and then the camera pans up, and he just transforms back into their dad and walks off screen.
And then the DeLorean shows up, and Marty's like, "We gotta go back and then prevent the show from happening." So you're still enjoying that? Would you say that's your favorite show on the air right now?
I would.
Max, have you ever had an urge or desire to watch Supernatural?
I've watched it before. When I was younger, my sister was a huge fan of it, so I'd watch it with her. But no, can't say I'm a huge fan.
What was it? Was it?
And that's okay.
Like, look, there's nothing wrong with it. I enjoy it. It's fine. It's just not really my cup of tea.
Fair enough, fair enough. Hey, we were talking about the DC show and how that's like, a fraudulent tax scheme. Well, did you know we can't have a Power Rangers update this week, but we can have the next best thing, which is a comic book update.
Whoa.
Comics
I
are
already got a
happening.
sneak preview of this one, so I'm very excited.
Comics are in full swing. There's a lot. It's just there's so much crazy stuff going on right now, but none of it actually matters. But it's cool still. So we got on the DC side, we'll start with DC, but it's very clear that everything's going to be rebooted like by the end of the year. So everyone working on their current books is like, screw it, just do whatever. And they're just like, do whatever they wanted to do. They're probably not going to have jobs when they reboot everything, so they're just, get it in now. So like the Joker stole all of Bruce Wayne's money, and he's gonna I'm gonna kill you this time for real. And it's like, wow, Joker, he means business this time. He's not pretending like all the other times. He's gonna win this time, guys. Joker War. It's happening. Meanwhile, there's the Joker version of Batman who merged with Dr. Manhattan for some reason. And now he's like an omnipotent Joker Batman man. And that's death metal. And that's just like a parody of itself. They just, like, the writer and artist were just like, whatever stupid cool thing we can think of, throw it in there. Batman is a T-Rex. Why not? The Batmobile is a monster truck. Sure, why not? Just whatever. Who cares? There are no rules. We'll do whatever we want. And it's just chaos, and it's ridiculous. Man, I need to take a drink. That was tough.
There's also another DC related thing this week. Apparently, they're bringing Rorschach back in the comics.
Yes.
Ooh.
They are. Which is nuts, because like Rorschach is like an interesting character. Because we might be getting into Watchmen spoilers here. We tried to avoid it last time, so maybe just skip this time slot. But like he's an interesting character because like when you start reading the book, and he's very much like set up as a Batman like figure, and he's like, I gotta get my revenge.
But you absolutely do not want to like.
I gotta show society who's boss.
He's absolutely not a hero though.
Yeah, and for me that was like a commentary on like what it means to have a mask and a costume, because like he is like a cool character when he has the mask on, but then when he takes it off, and he's like a horrifying monster, even though he's doing the same stuff. And it's like,
and he like calls the mask his face. Like he is just like so melded deeply into this character that he's created for himself.
Right. His actual skin is what he calls his mask, isn't it?
Yeah. He calls like the mask his face, and his like actual face the mask. Yeah.
Right. So
a commentary on like vigilante heroes.
Yeah, exactly. And then they went a step further with that in the show, where they had the image of his mask and his face being like co-opted by white nationalists, using it to spread bad stuff.
So like it's definitely an interesting like place to take the overall arc of Rorschach.
Yeah, I think like the idea of Rorschach living beyond himself is like an interesting thing to do. I don't really like what they did with Doomsday Clock, where it's like, hey, this kid is the new Rorschach because he heard some lies about thinking Rorschach was cool, but he really wasn't cool, and he's got to learn he wasn't cool. It's like, that's not that interesting to me.
Have they said if this new Rorschach is like the same Rorschach like earlier, or if it's like someone else taking up the mask and name
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be modern day. I guess we should backtrack. This is by Tom King, who is really just making a habit out of this, out of the 12-issue, out of canon miniseries with some random character. He did it with Vision, which is a tremendous story. I really love it. Then he did it with Mr. Miracle, which is very weird. He's currently doing it with Adam Strange, and then he's going to do the same thing with Rorschach here. But I think Tom King does better with the more obscure character it is, because like he had a 85-issue Batman run, which is pretty controversial. It doesn't always land right. Just kind of like strange characterization of Batman. My main concern is, well, number one, they're like just giving him whatever. Like his current series isn't even out yet fully. It's only like a quarter of the way done. And it's just like, hey, have this other character, whatever. And also because like what more is there to do with Rorschach? I feel like, it's a pretty open and shut case. Like it was interesting, the stuff in the show, but in terms of the source material, like I feel like there's not a lot to extrapolate there.
Like his arc in the comic was like very complete, very fleshed out, and ended on a good place. The continuation of the show, it works for the character, great, but like I don't think we need any more.
Yeah, especially with it being set in modern day. It's
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go like the route the show goes and just like put that in a book, when it's like, oh, these people who don't have like a full grasp of reality are taking this mantle and twisting it, then like I think there's something there. But I don't know. I have a feeling it's just like, wow, the Crisis resurrected the original Rorschach, and now he's got to deal with Reddit. What? That's like the worst version of this. And like,
see, I do wonder if they like ask Alan Moore about this at all.
no, they don't need to. You know he's going to say no to everything. Like I think the only Watchmen related thing he approves of is like a fan made parody toy commercial. And everything else he's like no.
Well, I think I did also hear that he read one of the like original, like one of the earlier versions of the script for the Watchmen movie, and he said that it was like as close as he could imagine anyone getting. But that's about like all he said about the movie
Right.
part.
I just watched a video on that today. But yeah, it was like the David Hayter script, which is still weird to me.
It's Solid Snake wrote.
Yeah, that's still weird to me. But like he said, I think he like said, yeah, it's the closest you can get. He didn't say he liked it. He just said, it's about as good as it can get.
Colonel, I'm writing the Watchmen script.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna turn out. Tom King is really hit and miss sometimes. He has some really bad stories, but also some really good ones. The Vision story I can't recommend enough. They're going to adapt that into that Disney Plus show about the Vision. So, hey, we'll try to stay optimistic, but not jumping up and down. Any final thoughts on the DC stuff before we head over to the other side of the fence? All right. So, meanwhile, in Marvel, they've got an event. It's an event called Empire. The Avengers. Like, no one cares about the Avengers right now. So it's a very boring book. And also the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four are pretty cool. They're in space and they're fighting plant people. And like the plant people are like, they basically swindled the good guys into like fighting their enemies, and they're just like, hey, way to go, you cleared the board for us. Now the plant people are gonna take over, you stupid idiots. And so there's that. There's like #1 out now, and there's like I don't really know how they're gonna make this an event. It's just starting, but you got the page in the back that says here's like 50 other books that are gonna be part of this event. Have fun, buddy. And I'm like, hey, when did you send this to the printing press? Because this came out today, and it says this book came out in April, and all the other books here are listed for like May and June. And it's like, that you're making it hard for people to figure out when the next books are coming out. And like, what if people want to like keep track of this stuff, and it's like, oh, hello, it's a good day here in April 2020. Everything's going great. It's like, did you not have time to edit that text before you shipped it?
I mean, like Rona probably like threw everything out of whack for a while. And then
I know it did, but like,
yeah,
you just don't pretend it's April. You got to change that page.
They want to go back to simpler times.
You're living in an alternate universe. I mean, we all wish we were right now, but come on.
Yeah.
Gotta fix
Empire's the Kree Skrull one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that looks neat.
It's kind of neat. Written by Al Ewing, who is doing Immortal Hulk right now, which is the best comic available. So you get that one. I mean, support Empire. It's kind of cool. But I mean, I guess we'll have to see where it goes. But meanwhile, guys. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Corey. Go ahead.
It's Kree Skrull, which means that it has Hulkling, which automatically means I'm going to be reading it.
Oh, yeah. He's in it. I don't know anything about Hulkling. What's Hulkling's deal? He was just sort of sitting there.
He is a half Kree, half Skrull. He's the son of Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, and a Skrull princess. So they had a little scuffle over which species got to use him as royalty.
Right.
But then he was like, but what if I just stay on Earth?
Well, he unites the Kree and the Skrull. So they have an alliance now against the plant people.
Yeah.
And then Avengers beat them. And then the plant people show up. So, we'll see. He looked kind of snooty and lame, but whatever. Meanwhile, my favorite superhero, Spider-Man. You know him? Have you heard of this man?
No.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Well, guess what? Guess what? Bugman is back.
Yes.
Bugman. All right, so like a while ago, the last time I was really paying attention to the current Spider-Man storyline was the story Hunted. And that was pretty complicated. You got like a bunch of different factions going on. You got Kraven over here doing his thing. You got the Lizard over here trying to control his rage. You got all this. You got other Kraven. You got the arcade guy. And then like every 2 issues or something, you'd have like disembodied narration voices like, "It's me, Peter. It's Bugman. I'm gonna place this cicada on your windowsill because I'm watching you. I know who you are, and I'm going to make your life miserable." And it's like, okay, Bugman. I mean, we got other things to deal with right now. You're kind of encroaching on the story right now, trying to make yourself look cool. And then he disappeared for like a year. I don't know where he went. It's like I was hoping they had just forgotten about him or just decided to give up. I was like, Bugman, whatever. But now it's like Bugman's back. He's haunting Peter Parker's dreams, and he's making him crazy. And it's like, oh, soon you're just gonna be bugs everywhere. And then we'll see who the real Bugman is. Not you, puny Spider-Man, but me, Bug Guy. So be excited for the Bugman saga, the newest and best Spider-Man villain ever.
I'm emotionally prepared.
Stay tuned for Bugman being the main villain in Spider-Man PS4 Part 2.
And the movie, and every book afterwards, and the new animated series.
Heroes 3 just for Bugman.
Yes. I don't remember what his real name is. Something dumb. So yeah, who's got burning Bugman questions? Because, aside from what his real name is, I don't remember.
Is he a bug with the powers of a man, or is he a man with the powers of a bug?
He's like a guy in a hood made up of bugs, I think. I don't think he actually shows up in the issue. I'm just trying to remember what he looks like. Yeah, be excited.
I can't find anything about Bugman, but I can see a lot of stuff about Big Man.
Oh.
Yeah, Bugman is like impossible to Google.
That's because it's not his real name. Yeah, so he's around. Let's hope that arc is short. All right. Now we're going to move back over to Darian. Darian, you've been so diligent helping out the show. I'm going to reward you. Whatever. The floor is yours as always.
Oh boy. Well, let's see. This past week, I played through Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, but we've already talked about it, so I can't bring that up. And then after
you just brought it up.
Oh man, you're right. Crap.
How wet is it?
It is very wet. It is dripping wet. I picked up my PS4 and it was soaking wet. I'm surprised it still works.
It's so wet. There's water in the water.
And then after I finished that, I was looking through my PS4 library, thinking hey, what can I play next? And so I downloaded the copy of Call of Duty World War II that I got for free with PlayStation Plus. And I've been playing that. And it is, in terms of modern Call of Duty, from Advanced Warfare on, it's one of the better Call of Duties in recent memory, I think. Especially now that has been improved over time, because I did play it originally on launch and it was fine, but then a few months in they did a complete overhaul of a lot of the systems and it turned out way better for it.
That's what I'm curious about, because I remember the whole push with that game was we're taking it back to the classic Call of Duty. We're getting rid of all these stupid mechanics that no one likes. It's boots on the ground. We got stupid tanks. We got guys with helmets. It's gonna be real Call of Duty. So, did that land? I mean, because now they're going back to Modern Warfare stuff, and I feel like I've been hearing about those more recent games year round because they have the Battle Royale stuff, and the World War II one kind of dropped off. So, do you think they were successful with what they were going for?
I mean, I think they were successful making a Call of Duty that feels like classic Call of Duty before they decided that everyone needed to be able to jump 30 feet in the air for no reason. But like, I think just in terms of like its overall legacy, it's kind of been diminished because, well, for one, it's made by Sledgehammer, which out of like the trifecta of Call of Duty developers, they're always kind of like the the less notable of the three because they haven't been doing it as long. And like, it seemed like a lot of it just it had kind of a rough launch. I think it lost a lot of it, like its audience in the beginning there, and a lot of them, some of them probably came back with the overhaul, but I think a lot of them probably didn't.
Interesting. So what would you? What's something you say makes it stand out compared to all the other ones? Is it something that's still worth going back to? With like you have different mechanics in these new games, but is it holding up against those?
Yeah, I'd say it's holding up pretty well. Like I said, it definitely does have a lot of like, does feel a lot like the older Call of Duties, but has like the polish of a newer Call of Duty. You know, like there's, I'm one of those people like the core gameplay of Call of Duty. It's fine. Like it's not a bad game. It's just the stuff buried like on top of the gameplay that kind of drags it down, and it's a lot less egregious in this game. Like there's obviously like a million like microtransactions, but it's less like, it feels slightly less predatory than normal.
What a compliment. So what are some of the things you can buy, and have you been tempted to buy?
You can buy hats, you can buy clothes, you can buy grips for your pistol, which you like pretty much never see because your hand is always on the grip of your pistol. You can buy like little tiny weapon charms that hang off of your gun. You can buy different emotes, you can buy emblems and calling cards and all this kind of stuff. And I've resisted the urge to buy anything because I do not want to give Activision any more of my money than I have to.
Fair enough.
But luckily with this game, they make it a lot easier to actually like earn stuff because there's all these systems like you can do like contracts and orders and stuff where you just like go get a bunch of kills with this weapon or get kills in this certain way, and they'll reward you with like more credits they can use to like buy up to guns, or that sometimes they just like flat out give you guns. It feels like you're actually able to earn a lot more, so there's not like as much pressure to buy everything that you want.
Very good. Darian, it sounds like you're kind of a skeptical Call of Duty player. Like you're not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. You want to make sure that it's on the up and up. So this question goes to everyone here. It's like, what would be something that they put in this year's Call of Duty, I guess, because we still don't know what it is. What would be something that like makes you really look forward to it and get excited for it?
Actually, we do kind of know what it is. A lot of the reports saying that it's going to be another Black Ops game.
Yeah. So then the next year's one,
yeah.
where we got no idea. We have no idea. It could be anything. So what would you make it?
Is it time for their trip through ancient Greece?
I mean, honestly, would.
I mean, at some point in like the height of Call of Duty, there was a period of time when they were developing like a Call of Duty set in ancient Rome, but then they scrapped it because they're like, no one will play this.
I'd play that.
Tell that to Activision in like 2011, I think. Like
I will. The only reason I own a Call of Duty game right now is because I like zombies.
So would you make a game that's totally about zombies? Like that's the plot? It's just the walking COD?
Like,
no, because I just like zombies as they have it as a minigame right now. If it were just The Last of Us, but with more guns, I think that'd be boring.
Yeah.
See, something I've always like considered for Call of Duty is just like a game that's just sort of like a zombies compilation, like just going back to like from World War II all the way on up, and not World War II, from World at War all the way on up, just like combining like as many of the zombies maps as you can, just put them all in like one set, just a game
Like
just for zombies.
The Super Smash Brothers Ultimate of Call of Duty?
Yeah, but just
Of
zombies.
Call of Duty's zombies.
Yeah.
And would that be like how would you price that? Would that be like a $30 game? Because I know like they sell the campaigns on their own sometimes.
Well, considering it's Activision, I think it would be $60, and it would include everything from like World at War up to maybe like, I'll be generous and I'll say up to Infinite Warfare, and then they're gonna be like, oh, you want these newer games? You got to buy the $15 DLC packs, kid.
And what do you get
think
for
it would just be
pre-ordering?
15?
For pre-ordering, you get some weapon skins.
That's so dumb. Max, what about you? Have you played Call of Duty a lot?
Actually, in recent months, yeah, my sister and I, we love to play together. So I've put a lot of the newest Call of Duty. And they said earlier, and I guess this is still true, that they want to focus on this Modern Warfare, that they don't want to come out with any new Call of Duty games for a while and focus on the current Modern Warfare and just update that. And I think that's the way to go. However, if they are going to come out with a new Call of Duty, I think, honestly, a Modern Warfare 2 remastered would have worked just fine. I'm sure it would have sold really
They did
well.
remaster the campaign.
Yeah, but everybody wanted the multiplayer.
I don't think I want the multiplayer anymore, because look at Modern Warfare Remastered. They just they technically remastered, then they just completely destroyed it with like microtransactions and stuff. They would do the same thing with MW2.
Yes, but the maps. I like the maps. I miss playing on Terminal. Such a good map.
They made Terminal like 5 different times.
But they didn't make it the 6th time, and that's what I'm waiting for, Darian.
It's called Terminal 6, and then you can have Terminal 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for in Black Ops.
Yeah, like they did in MW3. They did it in Infinite Warfare. I haven't been keeping up on the new Modern Warfare, but they probably either have done it or are going to do it for that, because Terminal is like their moneymaker, apparently.
It really is.
Aside from that, what are like the standout iconic maps in Call of Duty that like you
Rust.
put them on screen and everyone claps?
Rust.
Rust is already in the new Modern Warfare, and
Oh, it is?
honestly, it's kind of hated.
Yeah.
Well,
They also did
it's hated
Infinite
because
Warfare. I played it.
they didn't shrink the players, or how many players go in the match. So you have like an 8-on-8, a 16 player on the map of Rust.
You can't do that on Rust.
You get on Rust, and if you survive more than 10 seconds without being killed, you're lucky. Like you would
Even,
get shot at spawn.
Even 6v6s on Rust are just too much. Like that's a game that's for 2, maybe 3 or 4 people.
Like Rust was fun for split screen,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. They have on Modern Warfare, they have a mode called Local Spec Ops. Local Spec Ops is neither local nor co-op. You cannot. It is a single player game. Why is it called local?
Because you don't have to be online for it. It's either online or it's local. I guess that's their logic.
But why is it called it specifically says co-op as well when you go into it.
Who knows?
Because they're like, it's local because you can be offline. And it's co-op because you have computer allies. They know nobody would think that. They're one of the oldest game developers. They should know better.
That's so funny. Oh.
Makes me so angry. Local co-op is neither local nor co-op.
The balance
the
balance of that series seems like so perilous, because I feel like time to kill is so low, just from what I've seen. So
Call of Duty.
Yeah. It's very fast-paced, twitchy kind of shooter.
Right. So I feel like if you tweak one number just a little bit too much, it throws off the whole experience.
It's very. I think the balance is very good. There are other Call of Duties where it just used to be whoever sees who first gets the kill. Now it takes maybe an extra half a second to kill somebody, which doesn't sound like very much on paper, but the game feels much more, I guess, fair and balanced at this point.
Yeah. Call of Duty balance has always been a tightrope that they have to keep walking for the entire year. Mm-hmm. Modern Warfare 2, they just completely failed that. That game is not balanced at all. And then every game since then, it's sometimes it kind of works and sometimes it doesn't. They're every update, they're tweaking 5 different guns. Hey, we need to balance this game out a little bit.
So, Darian, would you say it's worth the PS Plus subscription? Would you say you've got your money's worth out of this game?
Yeah, I'd say I got my money's worth. I'm having fun with it. It's a fun game.
Good to know. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. That's about all I've really been doing.
All right.
Except for like I've been playing like some Persona 5 too. We talked enough about Persona 5 on this show.
We haven't talked about this part of Persona 5. What part are we at? Are we past the halfway point?
I don't know what the halfway point is. I finished the 4th palace, and I just started the mission for the 5th palace.
Well, like the 6th through 10th palace are all like the last one. Like it keeps
There's 10 palaces?
It feels like it, man. There's like that game has more endings than the last Lord of the Rings movie. Just keeps going. And I don't. Yeah.
I'm at like I think 50 something hours.
Okay, so
And, like,
possibly,
I it's like I've gotten my money's worth.
possibly past the halfway point. We'll see.
I don't know how many palaces there are. So
I wonder, like, what's the best like hour for money rate? I mean, obviously something that's like free to play and you put like 1 million hours in it, but like something you pay for that you like get on a deep discount and you just get so much time out of it. I wonder what that is.
it's like for me, like my general like rule of thumb that I break all the time is I try to keep it like a solid like dollar per hour. It's like if I spend like $60 on a game, ideally I'd like to get 60 hours of entertainment out of it.
That's fair.
But then also it's
yeah.
like I'd rather have like pay $6 for 10 really good hours than 60 really terrible ones, Ubisoft.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, if it's like, he's like, was this hour worth paying $10 for? Yeah, maybe it was pretty good. It's like how much is that in like movie ticket prices? You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's all about like the psychology of it, because if it's like 100 hours, but it's like mind numbing, it's like, dude, did I really use my money the best way I could when I could have bought like 3 things that are, you know, cheaper but a lot more fun? And
That's why I like almost never buy games at full $60 price. I will wait until they go on sale. Unless it's something I know is gonna be like high quality, I'll wait for a sale or get it when it's like I'll like I spent full price for Battle for Bikini Bottom because that full price is only $30. I'm like, cool, why not?
what do you guys think of the hot scoop that games are going to start costing $70 next gen?
Oh, no way.
The
Like, I feel
2K
like-
game is, and I think some other company said it was doing it as well.
Well, the 2K game costs a lot more because they put a lot more money into animating that sweat.
That's true, but it's also one of the worst microtransaction things out there.
They spent a lot of hours coding those slot machines. They wanted to get their money back.
I just don't know how consumers will react to that.
I mean, the thing with sports games though, like sports games are the ones that you could get away with it the most because a lot of people they're like they just buy a sports game or 2 a year and then that's like the only games they play.
Yeah, that's fair, but for us gamers who will buy games pretty frequently, like
Yeah.
if it's like with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, what is it called? Xbox One X?
It's called something. No one really knows. They're
Something.
like,
The Series X.
Series X. If they're talking about like 400, 500, $600, like okay, if it's $700, that's expensive. At least that's a one-time purchase. But $70, a $10 increase for literally every game, that's gonna pile on pretty fast. I
Like,
just
I feel
don't know how.
I feel like $60 is like right in the sweet spot where it feels affordable, but also it feels like you have to like think about your decision before you like buy it.
I imagine that if they do increase it to 70, I think people are just gonna start waiting for sales more often now.
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna lose pre-order sales.
Maybe. I wonder if like they do this for a year and then like they see like a line on a chart go down a lot and they're like, oh no, back to 60.
I feel like also these subservices like EA Access and Uplay Plus and Game Pass and PlayStation Now, they've kind of like those services have kind of like changed like the idea of game pricing because like I can either pay $60 for one game, or I could pay $10 a month and get like 100-something games.
Yeah, but you don't own those.
'Cause I'm just thinking about it. In what way would the consumer benefit from this? If they have to pay more for the console and then more for the game, it just
The games better be like real good.
like, do the developers want more money because the technology they have to use to create the games costs more? If that's
General idea is
okay, but
games are like so expensive to make now, and the price hasn't gone up in like 10 or 15 years. We deserve some more money.
even then, if you're developing a game, that's a one-time purchase. You don't have to keep buying the same software over and over. Oh, except once again, Bethesda, upgrade your freaking
Yeah, please
engine.
don't use creation.
Stop
engine.
using the engine. Please upgrade it.
I think
But everybody else.
the argument against, like, it is true, games are really expensive to make, but the argument against it is, like, when that NBA game comes out, it's still going to have the slot machines in it. It's still going to be, you're going to buy your V-Bucks either
Yeah,
way.
they make enough money off of the microtransactions that like they probably recoup all their costs just off of that.
Right, like, those games are not short on profit. And, like, the ones who do the best are the executives. So, like, whatever way you cut it, I don't think the little guy benefits from moving to $70.
No.
But
I am curious.
remains to be seen. Yeah, Max?
The original, so Modern Warfare, I'm looking up the development cost versus how much they made. Modern Warfare cost about $200 million to create. But now let's see. Modern Warfare, what would I put in? Like, I'm blanking on the
Revenue,
word.
maybe.
Revenue, that's what I'm trying to think of. The
Economics.
revenue was $1 billion.
Yeah, see, like they recouped that times 5,
They made 5 times their money back. So it's
and yet they still want to increase it by $10. Like, where's all the money going? Is it all going to freaking Bobby Kotick's money
It's
pit?
going to Bobby Kotick's Lamborghini-lined pool.
It's going back to Todd Howard for his chess club.
Yeah, he has, like, he has his chess pieces are made of like elephant earwax or something. I don't know.
But imagine how good the next port of Skyrim will be.
They've already confirmed it, and I'm excited.
They have?
Yeah.
Oh my dear God.
As soon as GTA got out there, they had to fight back, right?
Xbox is like, of course it is, because Xbox already said like every game you can play on the Xbox One, you'll be able to play on the new Xbox. Like that's
My question, because once again, I'll admit I've bought Skyrim 7 times already, but I want to know, what are they going to do? What the heck are they going to do without upgrading their own engine?
that's true. Because like now with Skyrim, like there's not many more gimmicks they can use to get people to buy. Like, oh, they added mods already. They added the Creation Club already. It's already been upgraded. There's no more gimmicks they can use to sell people.
They did VR already.
Yeah, like, they're out of
it didn't
Skyrim.
work.
Do you think they'll finally have to just make the Elder Scrolls 6?
Guys, I got
They
it.
will never do that.
Guys, mirror mode. Play the whole game backwards.
So
Oh, no.
you start at the last quest and you just finish in the first quest.
No, it's just flipped left to right.
The entire world is flipped. Just like
Gosh.
Twilight Princess.
This reminds me, unintentionally, segues into a game I was playing called Control. Because there's a part in that game
Oh,
where you go in the mirror world and everything's backwards. They talk backwards. It's really cool.
I have so many questions about that game. It looks so good.
Right. So I tricked my brother into getting PlayStation Now because he wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 2, and I was like, all right. But
That's on now?
it's it's the HD like PS3 version is on it, and so you have to like
on Game Pass too.
yeah. I'd rather get it like where you don't have to stream it because you have to stream PS3 games on PS Now, but that's a whole thing. Regardless, Control is included until next month with PS Now, so I like breezed through that
Nice.
game real quick. It's a pretty quick playthrough, but yeah. But ask me what you want to know. I'm all mouths.
So, what can you give me like a basic, no spoiler, a spoiler-free rundown of the story? Give me a synopsis.
Okay, so you are Jesse, and you had a traumatic supernatural experience in your childhood wherein all the adults in your town disappeared and your brother got kidnapped by government G-men, and you spent 17 years looking for him until, oh, by the way, you have a ghost in your head also. And then one day the ghost leads you to this building, the Federal Bureau of Control, which is where they house all the X-Files stuff, all like the weird supernatural haunted items, like possessed stuff, all the urban legend stuff. It's all in there, and it's just like a hidden building in the middle of New York that you can only see if it wants you to see. But when you get in there, it's been invaded by like the red mist, and you find the director, and he's just dead, and then he has a gun that's a live gun that moves, and then it's like, hey, you're the director now, and you're like, what? And then you're like, kill all the red bad guys, and you're like, well, I guess here we go, gotta find out the answers, and then you get like superpowers, and it's cool.
What can you tell me about the gameplay?
So the gameplay is, you could say it's Metroid styled. There are 4 areas of the map, and you sort of just run between them. You get new powers to unlock shortcuts and stuff. There's a lot of combat, which is like a third-person shooter. Your gun has different forms, so it has like a charge shot, which I really liked. It has the normal version, has like a shotgun, has like an Uzi version. So you can choose between those. You also get different mods. So it's just like, hey, get like 10% damage on headshots, or get minus 10% to energy use, stuff like that. And those just keep dropping, and they won't stop dropping. It's really a lot.
They really don't.
Corey, have you played this?
I have.
Neato, so you can help me out.
Yeah.
So
you also get fun mind powers.
Yeah.
I mostly use that because I like yeeting stuff at my opponents.
that is really fun. So yeah, it's mostly, third-person shooter. I wouldn't say it's the tightest thing in the world. Corey, what did you think? Did you think the combat was satisfying?
I would say so. I'm a big fan of mentally throwing things.
Yeah, I feel like...
would you... Oh, go on.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say it's like what Sonic 06 should have been with the psychic hedgehog.
So you said the gameplay is pretty satisfying. How is the story overall, and what would you rate the game?
Right. So I'll speak for myself here. I think the setting of the game and the characters within are really interesting, and they like you get a lot of lore tidbits like in every game, but they're actually like used to flesh out, because this is not just like a containment facility for all the weird items. It's also just like a normal workplace. So it's like people complaining, like there's one guy who's complaining, it's like, hey, we got this shipment in, it was 100 boxes, and in each box was a single human tooth, and I had to go look through all of them, and that sucked. I hate my job here. So it's like funny stuff like that. There's like a book club that you can find out about. There's also like FMV videos from like the research guy talking about like all the different items, and then there's also a puppet show they put on with like really creepy like kid puppets, and there's like nightmare fuel in that. So
that actually gave me nightmares.
I had to stop watching them after a while because I was like, I don't like this stuff anymore, and I like puppets usually. But as far as the story itself, it's like kind of basic, I mean, it like there's not really a big twist or anything. It's kind of straightforward, and then there are some really great moments within the story for sure, especially as you approach the climax. But the actual ending is kind of like a wet fart.
Disappointing, but so what would you give the game overall? Would you say that is it worth playing in general? And if so, how much do you recommend people pay for it if they wanted to play it?
That's a good question. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Know that like it has some jank to it. I don't think the combat is fully fleshed out. I think I was playing on a base PS4, and it famously runs really badly. I mean, not super badly, but like there are definitely moments where it hitches up a lot. And like there are some really amazing moments in this game, but also some things that kind of ticked me off. So I would say don't pay full price for it, probably. But it's definitely worth...
Get it on sale.
Yeah, get it on sale. Get it for like a tight 40.
Really, 40?
Isn't Control developed by Remedy?
Yes, it is.
I miss when Remedy made Max Payne.
Apparently, the Max Payne actor is in this game.
Oh, but speaking of Max Payne...
What was that?
I want to talk about this. So speaking of Max Payne, it's not actually... It's kind of related to Max Payne. Did you guys hear about... They're making an Uncharted movie.
Finally.
However...
Oh my god. They've been making an Uncharted movie for 20 years. Before the game
Do you want to know Do you know who's playing Nathan Drake?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. And I gotta be honest, I like Tom Holland. I like Nathan Drake. I do not like Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
Well, I mean, think about it, though. The plot of Uncharted would be a lot easier if Nathan Drake could just sling a web.
I don't know. I
don't believe that movie will ever happen.
They've already confirmed it. They posted pictures of
they confirmed
Tom Holland.
I will not believe it exists until I'm sitting in the theater watching it.
Even then, I'm saying this is a dream. This is part of the Control weirdness.
Now, will this movie come out before or after Cyberpunk 2077?
Oh my gosh. If you just Google Tom Holland Uncharted, it's the first thing that pops up is him dressed as Nathan Drake. And it looks ridiculous. It's like he has a baby face. He's a baby. Like, I mean that in the most enduring way possible.
Like, his face does not look like it should morph into Nathan Drake.
I don't know.
Like, he's wearing the outfit. He has some dirt on his face. There's a helicopter and an explosion behind him, and his hair is all messy. But
and they've also got Mark Wahlberg as Sully. Another interesting choice, to say the least.
There's another picture of him. It's Tom Holland back to back with Mark Wahlberg, and it's Tom Holland with a mustache. However, he could not. It looks like a pedal stash, and he's just so thin. And the caption is apparently he is trying to get really buff for the movie.
When was this posted?
1 hour ago.
Okay, so this is fresh news.
Okay. This is brand new.
Yeah, like stumbled on breaking news.
Yeah, it might seem ridiculous, but I'm also not going to make fun of it because he could probably beat me up.
I don't think so.
I just don't know if I can see Mark Wahlberg as Sully, though.
There are a lot of better choices, I think.
Like, I'm trying to imagine. It's just not clicking. I don't know, like, who I would replace him with. I just don't think I would go with Mark Wahlberg. Like, he seems like the marketability choice.
Yeah, I wonder what their screen tests were like, if they even did them. But the last thing I want to say about Control, Corey, I don't know if you had this as well, but whenever I died and I got a loading screen tip, there were like about 10 different ways of just phrasing, just run away from combat. Just like do L3 and sprint, and then you won't die. And I was like, is this the best strategy you can offer me? Because like it was...
That's Control.
To me, it was a sign like the combat is not that deep. If it's just... I mean, they have reworded 8 times, just run away.
Yeah, I never listened to that. I just have fun throwing things. And it works.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else we want to get to? Any more breaking news? Oh, that is a weird picture. That doesn't look...
Yeah, right.
Doesn't look right.
You can see this photo on screen, audience.
Okay.
It's just a picture of Tom Holland.
It's a photo right here.
And
he looks like he's got like a sour warhead.
He's like pumping out his cheeks. His shirt's unbuttoned.
His jawline looks very chiseled. And I don't know if it's just like the lighting and the shadowing, or if it's like his jaw is actually like that.
No, Tom Holland, he's got a decent physique.
he's trying so hard to break out of the baby face, but like you can't break out of that because it's just his face.
The problem is Tom Holland, he's an acrobatic. That's how he got started, a gymnast. So he has like, he has the abs and he has like a lean body, but he's lean. He's not like a buff, superhero.
He's got no muscle on him.
Like he can pull off Spider-Man, but if you okay, hey, he's gonna play Thor, it looked ridiculous because he's not Chris Hemsworth level of muscle. He's lean and small, and it's cute. That's what all the preteens say about him. He's a cute boy, and I get it. He's a cute boy, but I don't think cute describes Nathan Drake.
That depends on who you ask.
Like he's never gonna like grow out of that baby face. I don't think he's already like in his mid-20s. This is the time
he's 23. Yeah,
he just needs to get a role as the next Star Wars villain and always wear a mask.
Oh, honestly.
But yeah, anything else we want to get to? Any other emergency things people want to talk about? I know we touched on a lot of subjects, but maybe there's something else.
I think if they wanted to do a Nathan Drake movie and they had to use an actor from Marvel, they could have used literally any of the male actors from Marvel. I think even like Chris Hemsworth or I'm blanking everybody else, Steve Rogers, even I think Robert Downey Jr. would look better.
Robert Downey Jr. might pull off Sully, but I don't think he could pull off Nathan Drake.
I don't know. He could have been like a fun
freaking Nathan Fillion for Nathan Drake. He looked like he's got the same name, and he looks like very much like a video game Nathan Drake.
There are so many choices.
Yeah. Tom Holland is in right now, and since it's a Sony movie, he's already Spider-Man. He probably like worked for free for them. Like, hey, you owe us a blood debt, Tom Holland, and he's like, okay, Sony. I'll do your Uncharted movie.
Oh, yeah, and
what do you think Tom Holland's favorite game is?
Probably Fortnite.
Ouch.
He does have like a Fortnite player face. He does like have that vibe.
Jimmy. Do you think he has the battle pass?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think he's ever gotten on Destiny 2, Max?
No, but actually that does kind of remind me. And we can wrap it up with this. The reason I've been so busy is, of course, I work at a bakery here in Cincinnati, but then on my free days, my neighbor is a nurse, so I've been babysitting her kids. And she has a 9-year-old son, obviously being a 9-year-old boy. He loves Fortnite. So I was babysitting him, and he started playing Fortnite on his Nintendo Switch, because of course. And he says, "Hey, Max, do you have any skins?" And I say, no, I'm a default skin. And he says, "Oh, well, would you buy me this skin? It's only $25. And I remember back when I was a kid, and I'd go up to my mom and I'd go, "Hey, would you, I'm going to be honest, the only online game I played that costed money was Webkins. So I'd go up to my mom and go, "Hey, Mom, would you buy me this Webkins? It is $8. And I admit, that's quite a bit. However, I think at least that's like I'm getting a physical like stuffed animal toy in addition. And nowadays, kids have to go up to their parents and try to say with a straight face, "Hi, would you please spend $25 on this digital item?" It's not to mention, I didn't know this. I started playing Fortnite again. I did not know they added bots. Not only did they add bots to the game, because I hopped in one game, and guess what? Very first game, boom, Vic Roy, Battle Royale. I won. I was feeling good. I was like, wow, I'm really good. So then I went again. 2 victories in a row. 3, 4, 5 victories in a row. And I'm like, wow, am I better than Ninja? And then I Googled it. They added bots. Not 1 bot, not 5, not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 50 bots. No, not even 60, 70, or 80. They added an average of anywhere between 82 and 91 bots per game, which means when you play Fortnite right now, the most other humans will be in any game is 19 maximum.
Isn't that only if you're like really bad though?
No, that's the. If you're really bad, then it'll go up to the 92, and you'll have 8 other players. If you're really good, you'll have the full 19.
That's insane.
They said it was like they said it was to keep the game like entertaining. I imagine it was because kids played it, lost, and stopped playing, and then the developers went, "Oh no."
Yeah. But yeah, Max, you were saying about Fortnite. Do you feel like really emasculated by finding out your victories were fraudulent?
Honestly, no. I was gonna say I think it was a good call because even though they're bots, I still liked the game. So no, I think honestly, I believe that was why Ninja stopped playing Fortnite. I thought he moved on to like Apex or something. Although I don't follow him. Personally, yeah, I think it's more fun this way because I win a lot, and that makes me happy.
Which means you spend cash on skins.
No, I will still never pay money for that.
Okay, well,
I say
we'll
that,
check
but
in
in
6 months.
In Destiny 2, they have an emote, which is just it makes your character dab a lot, and I think that's like $5, and I will spend money on it too.
I mean, that's just a good value.
Right?
So yeah, last call. Anything else we want to say before we all sign off for the night?
Well, I did have like a hypothetical question I was going to pose to War, but I'd rather wait till a week when we have more people in here.
What a tease. Why don't you give us like the first 3 words and then we can figure it out?
Okay. If you could.
Oh, I would just stay here.
I would go take a nap.
I'd play some Pokemon.
All right. Well, why don't you write in the comments what you would do if you could and find out more details on this Nathan Drake stuff. Who would you cast as Nathan Drake?
And why is it Nathan Fillion?
And why is it? Well, maybe. So yeah, a lot to think about this episode. So let us know what you think. Make sure to share with all of your friends and all of your enemies as well, because if you didn't like it, maybe they'll like it, and we'd rather have them. So until next time, I've been Jeremy, and we've had Corey, Max, and Darian here, and we'd all like to say have a good night and stay
Bye, Dad.
cool.
And join us next week on the Tom Holland Fan Club podcast.
And watch the agenda.
Oh no!